Today's technique is age uke. Age uke, that's a Japanese expression. In Japanese karate schools, we call that, in English, we call that a rising block. Rising block. In the Korean styles, I believe they call that a high block. So what does the words mean? In Japanese, age means rising, something rising, or more properly, raising, as in you raise your hand or you raise your arm to block, but calling it rising is fine. And uke, what does that mean? Well, uke does not mean block. Now, I have a video on that on my YouTube channel called uke does not mean block or something like that, so I'm not going to get into that here. Now, the Korean stylists, as I mentioned, call it a high block, and they are correct. It is a high technique. It's delivered at this upper level here. But again, it's not a block, as I said, unless it's a very narrow karate context. Then it would be a block. And what is that context exactly? The typical application of the age uke in karate is that someone is advancing on you and they're throwing a straight line punch towards your face, and you're using the age uke to deflect the punch and then typically follow with a counter strike. Right? Hut! Now, what you just saw was a stepping straight punch to the face and defending against that with the age uke. Now, you'll see that performed in karate schools in something that we call one-step sparring or three-step sparring. So let's take a look at our students doing three-step sparring.
Yummy.
The problem is that outside of that narrow karate context, for instance, in a situation where someone's attacking you and you have to defend yourself, people don't come at you with a straight line technique towards your face. Not never, but in general that doesn't happen. Even in karate free sparring, it's not a very practical way to use that. So you may remember the All Valley Karate Championship 1984 and the final sparring match between Daniel-san and Johnny LaRusso. And Daniel-san used the age uke technique as in several times, and 4 times actually in this one clip we're about to see, against 3 of Johnny LaRusso's kicks and 1 of his punches. So let's have a look at that use of age uke. Nice Gyakuzuki, Daniel-san. However, that's a movie, and the movies are not reality. I've been to a lot of karate tournaments, both as a competitor and as a sensei, and I don't know that I've ever seen the age uke used like that. The pace of free sparring, especially at the high levels, is just too fast. So that begs the question, what are the practical uses of the age uke? Well, to answer that question, you need to stay tuned for the next video, part 2 of this series, and we're going to take a look at that. So stay tuned, and we'll see you then.